Why a local neighborhood app is right for your business. First of all, let's talk about the types of neighborhoods that we set up our neighborhood apps. Most of them are neighborhoods that have a homeowners association. And the reason we target neighborhoods that have a homeowners association is because they have rules and regulations, which is simply just means that people have to do more of an upkeep on their property. And they tend to have a higher income in these neighborhoods. And they pay out for more of the services that need to be done to the properties from local businesses. And also outside of the neighborhood, they tend to visit and do business with local businesses near their community. Also, they have community events. These are events like garage sales, picnics, and a lot of times most of these neighborhoods do have a neighborhood watch crime system in play. And that's what people want to see. They want to understand about the crime that's even going in their neighborhood. That's why they live in these neighborhoods with the homeowner associations. And there are a lot of restrictions that are put out there, but these are all great for keeping up the values of properties. That's why people live in these neighborhoods that have a homeowner association. Someone's taking care of all the headaches. So how do the homeowners associations get the message out? Getting the message out is a big part of it. So there's several ways they could do this. They can do it with the email, which is that's got to be pretty tough, getting everybody's email address and the time it takes to send emails out. Even if they did it on a bulk type of system, it's really tough to do and get updated emails, and somebody's got to keep track of all of that. So it's tough to do, and it's the manpower to do it gets to be pretty expensive. Another way they do it is through postcards or letters. Kind of know how that works with advertising with postcards and letters. Getting them open is the biggest part. In our subdivision, when we have a homeowner association, they'll send out a postcard announcing about the homeowner association annual meeting or monthly meeting coming up, and by the time you get it and then the meeting comes around, you kind of forgot about it. So it really has a rough time for people that even use the letterheads and the postcards type of system, because it just doesn't really work. And then the other thing is it gets to be pretty expensive. Another way is phone calls, but how tough is that to get everybody's phone numbers and updated phone numbers, get people to answer the phone? And even if you did it with some kind of a automation blast out there, that gets to be expensive. And then the upkeep, so it's just tough for homeowner association to use any of these three systems because they just don't work that well. Another thing that they do, they have a newsletter or a newspaper, I guess you could call it, either way, that they use to get the message out. And these work pretty well, but it's sort of like, letters and postcards. You get somebody to open it, they get delivered in the mail, and then people, they get them, and most time they're good for either 2 months or 1 month, depends on the neighborhood and the way that's set up. Like in our neighborhood, we get them every two months. They come out bi-monthly. So, we get it, and then by the time, we just don't seem like we ever hang on to them. So they're lost. So a lot of times that information gets out, and now they're becoming more like junk mail. So we don't really look at them like we used to. But they do have a purpose, and also a lot of people advertise on these. It's one time this was a pretty good way to advertise. And I'm not saying it's a bad way to advertise now. It's just that you should use, in my opinion, a little different way of advertising than what I see most people advertising in them. So what is the best way to get the message out? To us, getting the message out, the best way is to do it with a local neighborhood app. And we have app website here because it's the way we set ours up. If you look at the image on the left there, that's actually an app for a subdivision. And I'm going to kind of just briefly go over this so you'll see how this works. And you'll see here's that opening picture that's going into the subdivision. And actually that image has another 4 images that follows it. That's just a slider, so you would just slide it with your finger, and so you can kind of see pictures of inside this neighborhood. Like you can see the park. There's a county park in here, which is mainly just for the subdivision. That's generally all it uses. It's in the back of the subdivision. And then also there's like a fountain that shows in one of the lakes and stuff like that. Then when you come down to the bottom, you'll see these tabs. Now these tabs act like tabs on a website. When you click on them, that's what happens. And so you would open these tabs. Like the first tab is always the home tab, and when they tap on it, it just opens up, and the like it'll have just a one touch for their phone number, which generally is the property management company that number is for, and then just other stuff like directions, how to get to the neighborhood. and it sets up GPS system. And then also then it has a way that you can share the app right there from that page. It would, share the app with the other people, social media or by email or by texting it out to somebody. And then the rest of the tabs are generally stuff to do with the neighborhood. Now the next tab in this case is of this subdivision, and then when you go in there, it has so many pages in there about the subdivision. Now what I'll do, I'll just read off some of the stuff that it has in this one. It has, first of all, we start off with this subdivision, which is just an about pages. It's telling about this subdivision, how many homes are in it, etc. Then it goes to this subdivision has a property manager, so it goes to the property management company and the individual that handles it for the community, and it has their information like their phone number and their email address and things like that, plus their physical address and how to get in touch with them. And then the things also are just one touch. You want to call them, just one touch, just touch on the phone number. You want to send them an email, the same thing. So everything's one touch on the phone. Then it has other stuff in there like news articles. These articles are actually the same type of articles that you would find in the newsletter. These are things that the homeowner association want people to know. And some are just friendly stuff, and then some are important information that's going on. It could be information about the meetings coming up and things like that. And then there's another tab in there that's a board of directors, and that's pretty self-explanatory. And then same thing in there. If they want to have a phone number that somebody can contact them at, it's just one touch. Same thing with the email addresses, and that's what most of them have. And they have an email address where somebody can write to them. And then there's other things in there, like there's the calendar. Now this is a calendar that actually comes off the website that they actually have for themselves. They have their own website that was already made for this subdivision, and most of these major subdivisions, they have their own website. So it's just linked to their calendar. The other tabs in there would be like a neighborhood assistance. That's just where you can go in there and you can find, for instance, this one has a lot of lakes around. It's in Florida, so there's gators in there and stuff like that. So it has an alligator hotline, and then there's just other things like the street lights. There's a electric company that handles the street lights and transformers and stuff like that. And then there's just some other great information on there to their website in there, where just we can open up their website right from this app. The neighborhood has a request for exterior modification, so anything gets done, and that's how it is in most of these homeowner associations. Neighborhood, you want to paint your house, you have to get it approved, get the colors approved and stuff like that. Generally, they're not really that picky. They just have a certain colors that they want you to use, so they may recommend using this particular paint store. Actually, it's pretty good. And there's other things in there, like we also have a page that has all these different websites, like for the sheriff's department, the police department, and just different, Hillsborough County in this case is in Hillsborough County in Florida, so it has that information in there. So it just has all these links to these different websites. And then we also happen to have in this one a neighborhood scout, which is just for the zip code itself. Somebody could punch in the zip code or their address, and it would kind of tell you what's happening in that area, not just in the particular neighborhood, but out. So it's just actually a lot of information on there. And then as you move down the tabs, now we go, a lot of these tabs now when you start going on are for small businesses. Now these are businesses that would come into the neighborhood and do some work, and maybe some that are outside, like a brick and mortar type business, restaurant, doctor's office, dentist's office, and stuff like that. That's what the other tabs are. Then there's some few other tabs on there that are just information type tabs, around us and things like that. Then there is one other tab that we have in there that we think it's really a great tab to have, and we call it our 24-hour alert. And what that is, that's just where when these crimes happen within the neighborhood, this has nothing to do outside the neighborhood, just in the neighborhood. If somebody's house gets broken into, or their car, somebody breaks into somebody's car, this is the way that it can be put out there so everybody else in the neighborhood can know this happened and keep an eye out. Because a lot of times, it could be a block or two down the street, somebody gets, the house gets broken into or something, and nobody knows about it. Even though there's a neighborhood watch and all that in there, people just don't know this is happening, because there's a lot of people trying to keep up with it, block captains and stuff like that, and sometimes it just gets overlooked. So it's now this way we're going to have a way where people can report that something happened, and then this can be given out to all the other residents in the community. And what that does, when something happens, it just makes it to where you're more alert, because if you don't hear about it, you're not going to keep an eye out, and that's what it's just about. It's just to help people be more alert what's going on, and then also your neighbors are going to be more alert looking at your house too. So for the neighborhood, it's actually great for the neighborhood. And what it does also, it helps people open up the app, and that's what we want people to do, open up the app, get used to open up the neighborhood app. I had somebody bring up to me, what about people who don't have a smartphone, or one of these phones that can download on these? Even though statistics show that neighborhoods of this caliber generally have, the majority of the people have these smartphones or mobile devices like an iPad or whatever that can download these, but what about the few in there that don't? So we took care of that problem. Now we've actually made a website that actually goes right along with the app. They work perfect with each other. And so what it is, somebody just has to go in there and follow. Now they'll get it. It doesn't matter what kind of phone they have. That because all these feature phones, you can get your emails on there. And so now an email is sent out just like we send out information on the app. We do the same thing from the website, and then all the same information is in here about businesses that deal inside the neighborhood and outside the neighborhood, and then just all the information that the homeowner association wants to get out there. So with the app and also the website for the homeowners who don't have a smartphone, this is perfect for them, because now everybody in the neighborhood is going to be every homeowner will have the opportunity now to get this information. So how is this information going to be sent out by the homeowner association? Well, we do it through what we call a push notification, which simply says we have a message for you. Now this is what it looks like, and you see where it says push notification, and then generally right below it is where we put our message, and we can put up to 225 characters there, and then also it's we can drive them to either one of the tabs on the app, or within there'll be a tab inside the website that they can go to for that same information. Now also with the website, this push notification works for them too, because what we do when we send a push notification out on the app system, we also do it through the website, so people will get it just like they would on an app, even though they don't have the app. And now the open rate, people have two choices. They can open it or close it. And the open rate is 97% of the people open up push notifications. Then also it saves them on a tab. Now on the website, it's saved on that page automatically. But on the app itself, there's actually a tab in there that says your messages. And so people can go in there and double check their messages at a later time if they don't have the opportunity to open the push notification at that time. But now, who else is this great for? Local businesses. It's great for local businesses. And the reason why is the push notification works for the local businesses in the same manner. Now, we like using stuff with the homeowner association. People want to know about their neighborhood, what's going on, the crime, and etc. So that gives a reason for us to send out a push notification. People want to receive that. They also want to receive about the local businesses, because local businesses that do business in the neighborhood, they put in a coupon system. We have a coupon system set up this. So, the homeowners will do business with these people because they're not only inside the neighborhood, but they're offering discounts. And every month there's new discounts, on these coupons. They're fresh coupons monthly. Also, what happens is the same thing that happens with the push notification here, happens on the website, that people get notified of that information. Also, we send out push notification on those coupons when they come out, and if a new business gets listed, we may put that in there. And everything we do with this push notification is just to get people to open the app. And when people start opening the app, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go through there and they're going to find your business. Plus, we're going to direct them to your business. So that helps also. So, and generally with these push notifications, we try to do, with homeowner association stuff, generally about 6 to 8 per month, maybe 10. And then we do other stuff with the advertisers. We don't want to abuse the system, but people want to know this information. So it's they don't mind. They'll keep this downloaded on their phone because they want to know this stuff. The 24-hour alert, we may put something in there one week that says that there was no crime to report this week, and we may do that on a weekly basis. And all it does is just keep people in the habit of opening it up, and once they're opening it up, they start remembering about the coupon, the business in here. Now, what kind of business do we have inside here that advertise inside this app, in this website? Well, local businesses that come into the neighborhood, businesses that do business in the neighborhood, like your lawn service, your pool service, your pest control. Then you have the larger ticket items. Now, all those were like monthly or bi-weekly and are weekly type services. Then you also have companies that come in here that do bigger ticket items, like the roofers and the AC guys, and putting in a new AC unit, for instance. And these are companies, when they come in, one job in here pays for a couple of years what they're advertising in this type of a system. And then also you have businesses outside the neighborhood. These are businesses like restaurants and jewelry stores, auto repair, the dentists, the doctors, the retail outlets like shoe stores, clothing stores, and other types of retail outlets. And the list on both these categories just goes on and on and on. There's just so many ways that that businesses can advertise in here that would benefit them. Okay, getting started in today's most powerful marketing. What we want you to do, contact the person who sent you this video, and if there doesn't happen to be a name here or anything else, you can shoot us a quick email at neighborhoodapps@gmail.com, and somebody will get back in contact with you. This is a fairly new program that we have out there, and we'll get you in contact with the person that handles your area, and you'll be amazed at how this is going to work for you. And the setup fees and the maintenance cost each month is very low, and it's going to be the cheapest advertisement that you probably have ever done, and the most powerful. And you see how powerful this is because 70% of the people today go on the internet through their mobile phone. You'll say it's 24 hours a day because people just have their phones with them all the time. People take their, they use it for their alarm clock and stuff like that. So, and it's only getting higher each day, the percentage of people who go onto the internet through their phone. So mobile marketing is becoming the most powerful marketing out there, and it will be for a long time. So get in touch with us and let's get you going on this, and we'll help you out and get you set up in here and get your business going, earning money in your local neighborhood apps. And there will be more than just one app that you can get into.